them to convey emotions or humor in a casual and playful way. But for non-native Korean speakers, their meaning can be a mystery. So some might say just use ChatGPT or Papago to translate them. While ChatGPT is widely used in various aspects of our daily lives, its ability to translate text containing emojis or stickers is limited due to its image-based nature, making copying and pasting as well as translation challenging. Moreover, since there are many slangs that do not have a direct translation, we decided to try translating some trendy KakaoTalk stickers. First, we selected an emoticon set and made popular AI tools like Papago and ChatGPT, both free and paid version, to translate the text used in these emoticons. At the same time, we also tried to come up with our own version and compared it with the AI version. Our goal was to check if AI could replace human translators.
So this was the sticker set that we ended up choosing. It actually has two parts, so we used both of them and we just explored all of them and chose the most interesting one for translation in the project. And yes, we, as one already mentioned, we took multiple different settings to compare the translations. We just translated the text through Papago, and with ChatGPT we had a variety of different options. We compared translations through free and paid versions of ChatGPT by just giving the text in the sticker and asking ChatGPT to translate it into English. Then we did something called one few shot ChatGPT. If you're not familiar with what exactly that is, it's asking ChatGPT to translate the given text, in this case from Korean to English, and one few shot means giving one or multiple examples. So we wanted to see if giving examples would change the way it does the translation. And we also tried translating the text in the stickers with a detailed prompt. And the prompt, here's the prompt, I think partially, the prompt that we ended up using. The full prompt was, I need your help with Korean English translation. The text I'll be giving you is going with a set of stickers on an instant messaging app. You need to keep this in mind and make the translations context appropriate so that they can be used in the same way in English. Try to give the closest English equivalents you can think of. Do not be verbose, be concise, and only give me the translations. And so we gave this prompt first and then started sending the text in the stickers.
So we split our experiment results in 3 parts. First of all, cases where AI tools did a pretty good job. And the second case is where AI tools results improved with our help. And lastly, there were cases where AI tools were not able to do a good job. So let's first take a look at the cases where the AI tools were able to translate quite clearly. So our first sticker was 어머나 세상에. Well, Papago translated it to oh my god, and our team suggested what in the world, which sounds a bit more appropriate. So we can say that overall ChatGPT and Papago did a pretty good job, and humans did not need to do much. And our next sticker was 공주 등장, and this is the same as the previous sticker. Papago's Princess appears, which seems a bit odd. The ChatGPT ended up giving us various versions like Princess Appearance, or Princess Has Arrived, or Princess Here. Our team's version was Here Comes the Princess. So our team preferred the human version, but still ChatGPT did a pretty good job.
Next case is where AI translations kind of worked, but some detailed prompts would improve the translation. So the first one was 그저빛, and free ChatGPT and like ChatGPT in both in the free and the paid version would, and actually with examples as well, would focus on the word light itself, and detailed prompt would leave us with the translation pure brilliance, which kind of is closer as a metaphor to the meaning of the sticker. And we also thought that kind of metaphorical translation as just legendary would be an appropriate translation that we came up with. And the second sticker in this case was this one, Emojis. And the translations from Chicago just had a no stop it, and ChatGPT ended up giving us whatever I give up, but which kind of makes sense with the original meaning of the sticker. We ended up translating it as whatever screw it.
So, moving on to our last case, there were also some cases where ChatGPT was not doing well. Our team tried to come up with translations, and these are the examples. So our first one is 저는 그냥 말하는 감자인데요. Probably you're familiar with this one. And Pablo said, I'm just a talking potato, and I think most of the ChatGPT results were something similar to this. They always had potato in the results. While it is a literal translation, we thought that this phrase may not convey the same meaning in English-speaking countries. Considering the context of the phrase 전 그냥 말하는 감자인데요 is usually used to avoid answering tough questions or to get away with not meeting high expectations. So we thought I have no idea what I'm doing, or I'm just a girl, or I don't know, I just work here would be a better interpretation. While our translation is not a direct match to the Korean phrase because it's missing the main object, which is the potato, it still conveys the meaning by using common phrases often used in memes or short form videos. Our next sticker was 웃길만 버리라고. So using Papago and ChatGPT, they focused translating using the phrase flowery pot a lot. But a flowery pot does not fully convey the meaning embedded in this line in Korean. 웃길만 버리라고 has a similar meaning to blessings such as 적게 일하고 많이 버세요, which reminded us of the similar phrase to wish others the best in English. So we thought may your pillow be called on both sides would be an interesting interpretation. Having a cold pillow is often considered desirable, and a common complaint about pillows is that the side you sleep on is always much warmer than the other side of the pillow. So this phrase is often used online to thank the other in a fun way, so we thought this might be a more appropriate version as a slang.
The next sticker says 이사람은 관객분, and all of the tools that we use for translating would focus on the word madness and leave it in all of the translations. And even though it's the literal translation, it would not kind of convey the meaning of kind of going and saying from where the situation you're experiencing is leaving you in. So we thought that the proper English equivalent would be the catchphrase entering my Joker era. The next sticker says 결혼 spike 가보자고. And the translation tools would always leave us with something that would directly mean the blood sugar spike and or sugar rush, which once again is the exact meaning, but English speakers do not usually say it like that and do not usually use it in this kind of situation. However, there is a slang phrase going diabetes, especially if you had a small airplane emoji next to it. So we thought that that would be the better translation for this one. And another one, 나라꾸라기다. Once again, the translation would focus on the word rock in all of them. However, in this one, I think we can give ChatGPT some credit because even though it would focus on the word rock, it still would kind of make a wordplay out of it. And still we thought that since people do not really say that in English, a proper equivalent people use these days would be a win is a win, which kind of in the same way means looking for some positives in the situation where it's really hard to see some.
So our next emoticon was 하얗게 불편하다. Papago and ChatGPT all focused on using the vocabulary burn, but our teammate came up with I was wiped out. So ChatGPT didn't do that bad. They focused on just burn and failed to come up with something creative. But we thought I was wiped out could be a better interpretation since it conveys the image of clean gaminess in a word 하얗게 in the Korean version. And our last one is 햄버거요. So this was a prompt that AI tools absolutely failed to understand and interpret correctly. So Papago said it's a hamburger, and ChatGPT said I want a hamburger, or I'm craving a hamburger, or with a detailed prompt it said I'm burgering, or I'm feeling burgery, which does not make any sense, right? So AI tools fail to understand this phrase completely, but our group managed to come up with a more appropriate translation, which is hamburger with a cute hamburger emoticon. So compared to the previous stickers, this one is a term that is relatively less widely used. So it is common to encounter new slangs as humans, but as native Koreans, we can easily understand what it means. But for AI tools that have never seen these terms and lack data, they clearly struggle to find an appropriate translation and even struggle to understand what it even means.
Yeah, so our project aimed to address the barrier in digital communication which we may face when using emojicons with different text on them. And while Papago these days is often used for translation, we found ChatGPT to be more effective. And still for the question, could AI tools replace human translators as of today, we decided that the answer would be no. Because even though ChatGPT does a pretty good job, just asking it for a translation does not yield us with the best results. And if you want a good translation, you need to know how specifically to use ChatGPT in the best way specifically for you. And so we thought that the next possible step for this kind of project could be translating a full set of emoticons for KakaoTalk and proposing them to the original artist.
So that was all we have prepared for today, but we have a mission that we want to invite everyone to join in. So we have two phrases, which is 난짱 세다줄 않는다 and 깡, which were also in the emoticon set, but we had a hard time finding an appropriate translation. So we have actually prepared some prize for everyone who has an idea for this translation. So if you have any ideas or suggestions.
I'd like to do the first one.
Okay.
This is a phrase I heard when I was in the army. And basically they called people that are like really strong, they're built different. So I think that's quite appropriate for the first one. I don't have ideas for the second one.
I think you deserve a big one, so round of It's harder than you think, right? Like we did in our presentation, you don't have to come up with a literal translation. You can also create some slangs that convey a similar meaning.
Can you explain where gun can be used in a real situation?
Can you guys tell? Is there any help?
I'm not like perfectly satisfied with it, but I might go with iron will.
Three more people.
Like for the first one, I eat chicken. I don't chicken out.
That's creative. Thank you.
I think the word lost is
One more left.
The movie called Superbad in Korean is called Despicable Me in English, and since it's an English name for a popular movie, I thought it would be more relatable to like translate the first one like Invincible Me.
Thank you everyone for joining our mission, and I think everyone is very talented, so you guys should definitely do something like us and maybe suggest an English version to. There are many artists in Ka카오톡 stores, so try translating it.